Welcome to another OCD Recovery Instagram Live. I'm going to be doing a Q&A today in relation to OCD. So anything that you want to ask today, just put it in the comments below. And I will be looking at all your different questions in relation to that. So first of all, I'll get started on a topic just whilst you guys are sending your questions. Topic I'm going to be talking about is a little bit like wearing OCD, anxiety, like an uncomfortable coat, what that involves. Well, the problem with so many people, people's journeys, is what they do is they're waiting constantly to be completely anxiety free. Now, why is that a problem? Well, it's partly right, because you do want to get better. That's what you're doing here. That's what you're on this page for. But what you do wrong is you are viewing it as if you didn't get better would be an absolute disaster, the worst thing ever. We're actually, most of the time, when we are sort of along the journey to recovery, not in when we're in really absolutely suffering in that moment, we roll with ups and downs. We have some good days, some bad days, some up moments, some down moments, okay? Now, I do understand that it's locked on in the background, but even in those locked on in the background moments, you can still function, do things, and have some good moments. I'm talking about when it's not, when you're in the sort of pit of absolute suffering, that feeling that we all know. So, in relation to that situation, you've got to look at it like, I'm going to wear this as an uncomfortable coat. Even if I don't get better, it's not the disaster that I imagine it to be, my perception. Now, you know, when you're watching that and you're thinking, it is a disaster, it's the worst thing ever. Well, no, it's not exactly like that. Let me put it like this. If I suddenly got all anxiety back tomorrow, right? I'm not talking about when I was in the absolute sort of pit of feeling horrendous. I'm talking about that ups and downs of sort of chronic sort of anxiety that's hanging and lingering in there each day, okay? Now, with that situation, what would my beliefs be about that today? Well, I wouldn't like it. I wouldn't be mad about it. It wouldn't be the end of the world. I could ride it out, same as anyone with a chronic disease. I'd live with it. It would just be what it is. Like, look, for example, just now, I've had, two cappuccinos in about the last 2 hours, so I can feel myself a little bit more on edge. Well, I'm not chronically anxious, but if you have that much caffeine, of course you can feel that. Now, that doesn't frighten me because I know what it is. The same as anxiety wouldn't frighten you as you become more comfortable with it. But at the moment it does, because you think, oh my God, I'm trapped, I'm locked in this thing forever and ever, I'm never going to get better. And that's what causes the problem. So it's about really wearing it like an uncomfortable coat. Thinking, it's here, but fuck it. I'm going to live my life with this thing here. And I'm not going to be ticking down the moments till it's gone. I'm going to work to get better. I'm going to do a lot of work to get better because it's in my interest to do that. But it's not the end of the world if I'm like this. It's not that bad. And when I say not that bad, that's not me putting it down. I know the journey. I spent a decade in OCD. I spent months and months and months, 24/7, chronically guilty. Years chronically guilty. And moments of physical anxiety taking over my whole body. I thought I was dying all the time. So I know the depths of it. But what I'm saying is, you can wear it like an uncomfortable coat. If I knew I was going to have a panic attack in 20 minutes, could I sit calmly here now? Absolutely. Because I know a panic attack, okay, it's going to come. I'm going to feel it. Worst that's going to happen, I'm going to sit here like this. I'm going to feel it, my heart pumping away. I'm going to feel my body, trembling. But what else is going to happen? That's it, okay? Now, let's say even if I was going to die of a heart attack in 6 months' time, what am I going to do? There's nothing I can do. If I knew I was going to die, I'm going to die. I was going to die anyway. I'm going to be dead anyway in 34 years, maybe tomorrow, maybe in a month, like my post yesterday. So there's nothing you can do. You have to leave it there. It's a case of giving up that internal fight. Realizing, screw it, this is what it is. This is my lot. This is what I've got right here. And getting used to that. It's key. It's a key part of the journey while striving to get better and get under those irrational beliefs. But at the same time, wearing it like an uncomfortable coat. Now, let's have a look at some of your comments on here. How to overcome memory impaired thoughts. Is unconditional acceptance required? Memory impaired thoughts. Are you talking about fear of having done something in the past and not being able to remember it exactly? If so, unconditional self-acceptance, yes. What if it impairs your sleep? Same thing. It's about learning to accept that your sleep might be bumpy, your sleep might be off, your sleep might feel like that. You might wake up with not a lot of energy. You might wake up sort of not refreshed. You might wake up 20 times a night. You might wake up with 5 panic attack sensations a night. You might wake up unable to breathe sensation in the night. You might have nightmares every day. All of those symptoms I had for years. So it's about wearing that and realizing that you can experience that, but you do not need to run from that. And not trying to fight that, and again, wearing the impaired sleep like an uncomfortable coat and not chasing sleep. Thinking, well, even if I get 5 hours a night, I'll be drained a bit, but I'll still get through my days. It's not the absolute end of the world. That is key. That's a key part of recovery. How do I stop my generalized anxiety setting off my OCD? I've done CBT, but the GAD seems to start it all off. Right, when you say the GAD seems to start it all off, explain to me what the GAD is you're experiencing, because people have different versions of GAD, and I need to know a little bit more specifics on that. What do I do with the feeling of I don't deserve to feel very good, or I should just settle down for what I feel now because not having anxiety scares me? Well, why does any human not deserve to feel good? First, there's no deserving. No one deserves anything, right? That's the first thing to throw out of the way. Second thing is, whatever you do, why do you deserve some kind of punishment? That's an idea of like some good and bad, some sort of judge and executioner like thinking on yourself. Everyone's equal. Humans have value, whether they've killed 20 people, whether they've saved 20 people. There's no deservingness. We've got a society law that puts people in jail, understandably. But in terms of deserving, that's just a concept that we created. Memory impaired thought means having OCD theme of memory is not functioning good. Okay, well, your fear is of memory not functioning good. Why is it so scary to not have a functioning memory as you want it? CBT or ACT, which one is better? CBT, ACT, for OCD recovery, they all flow into each other. There's all parts of each that are very beneficial. CBT and ACT it all comes from ideas from Greek and Roman philosophy, meditation, mindfulness, all of this, and it all flows together. So there's great points from both. How can I stop the nightmare, and why are they about my OCD themes? Well, welcome the nightmares in, allow them there. The reason you're having so many nightmares is because you're still scared. That's why they linked your OCD themes. When your fear comes down, your nightmares will come down. So that's what we need to work on in the meantime. False memories feel so real. What helped you? I'm not going to sort of cover broad questions like that just because there's so much answers to that. But if you follow this page and have a look, you'll get an idea of everything that I talk about: unconditional self-acceptance, life acceptance, other acceptance, uncertainty, changing our relationship with OCD thoughts and anxiety, changing our beliefs, breaking down our irrational beliefs, all that kind of stuff. So you'll have to have a look on the page to get a broader idea. But false memories feel so real because OCD makes it feel as real as it can get. If it didn't do that, it wouldn't be a very powerful disorder against us. We'd just sort of go, it doesn't matter, it's not real. How to overcome short and long-term memory damage? Well, it's probably the fear of losing your long-term and short-term memory that's the problem. I imagine in this case, it's one of my fears. I used to sort of accidentally knock my head and think my short-term memory had gone. Fear of early onset dementia, all those kind of things. So accepting, learning to make peace with those scenarios was key, was very important for me in my OCD recovery journey. Some people also suffer from depersonalization. Is it connected? Yes, it's an anxiety symptom. You've got to wear that like an uncomfortable coat. Get comfortable with feeling depersonalized. Get comfortable with feeling off, separate to yourself, distant to yourself, like you're looking through misted glass, all those kinds of things. It's very important. That's a part of the OCD recovery journey, wearing all physical symptoms, mental symptoms, like an uncomfortable coat. Can you do an Instagram live on checking OCD? Absolutely. I've done a few Instagram lives on that stuff, but I will definitely do more. Any other questions today, guys? It's just going to be a brief Instagram live today. So anything else you want to ask me now, send it across and I will answer it. Any questions at all on your OCD? Well, I'll just finish with then today that when I'm saying wear it like an uncomfortable coat, if you had an uncomfortable coat on and you didn't have a choice of any other coat, you'd just have to wear it. And what would happen? You'd get used to it. You'd forget you were wearing an uncomfortable coat. It's the same as if I get a pair of socks out, I put them on, I think, I hate this pair of socks, they're not very comfortable. Then when I've been walking for about half an hour, I completely forget it. Or anything, like some clothing, I think, this will be uncomfortable today, I've forgotten it whilst I'm out, because the brain is focusing on other things and it's taken all its attention off that. Same as some sunglasses, I just broke a tiny bit off the sunglasses and I completely forgot about it, and today I didn't notice it, but then when I saw it, I went, yes, that will be uncomfortable, and then I was aware of it, but you don't notice these things. Doesn't jail play a beneficial role? Absolutely, jail plays a beneficial role. It helps with keeping people, the society, protected from people that are dangerous to society. It protects. It's a form of some kind of form of discipline, so that people think before committing a crime, because they think, I don't want to lose that amount of time out of my life. So yes, jail should be a place of rehabilitation. Absolutely, need to be a places of rehabilitation, but some form of discipline to sway people from doing the acts is, I imagine, absolutely necessary. Otherwise, people would get away with committing crimes by justifying them to themselves for the benefit that they could make financially or whatever way they want. So yes, jail does play a beneficial role, but jail in itself is not. It's not saying someone deserves jail. That's a philosophical concept. That's something that we can break down. Deservingness is the idea that the universe has actually got some kind of like balancing system where that person gets this and that person gets that, which is absolute nonsense. Okay, guys, great to have you all on here. I will see you on the next Instagram Live. I'll see you then. Take it easy.